again. You are tuning Radio Multiversal, the only radio station heard across all dimensions. Today I bring you a story straight from dimension A53B, where humans are about to encounter intelligent extraterrestrial life for the very first time. If you want to know what happens, get comfortable and listen up to First Contact. Bruno stared at the grooves in the ground with frustrated resignation. Several entire rows of crops ruined. He mentally calculated the cost of the repairs, factoring the irrigators, fertilizers, and everything else. It'd be dozens of junk. He glanced at the remaining crops, clinging to hope. At least the harvest they yield will keep him afloat for now. This was the fourth attack this month. As he salvaged what he could, he remembered how the sales brochure has described the local wildlife as skittish and scattered. Now he wondered if the seller's smile had been a warm gesture of confidence or something closer to the grins of the loan shark who swindled him back on Earth. Not like there was much choice, he mused with a shrug. Stay a broke, irrationally in-debt man on his own planet without a single junk to his name, or take one of the government colonization incentive and become a rationally in-debt farmer with hundreds of yards under his name. He concluded that Aglas was as risky as any other of the planetoids in the program, so this was just another problem to solve. Over the next few days, he set up sensors, reinforced the cultivators, and made the habit of patrolling the edge of the plantation, day and night. But aside from a meteorite striking across the sky before vanishing into a nearby mountain, nothing noteworthy happened. No trace of the animal, and for a brief moment he let himself believe his precautions had worked, until on Thursday afternoon a sensor went crazy. Seconds later, a drum alarm followed up. Bruno grabbed his charge rifle and ran. He couldn't afford to lose even one of his precious harvesters. The scene he arrived at was unlike the others. The crops were mostly untouched, and the robot was merely flipped upside down, a claw mark gouged onto his side. The creature's track ran in a straight line, as if it has just been passing through. Strange. Why didn't it stop to feed? Then he saw the footprints in the mud, too small to belong to anything but a human. They led toward his house before abruptly veering off, disappearing into the same path the beast has taken. Bruno sprinted after them, wondering if he'd make it in time or if he'd find a gruesome disaster instead. Minutes later, a splintering crack of wood cut through his thoughts. Up the hill, the hulking gray mass of the beast rose with a roar. His first shot missed by a mile. The second only succeeded in getting its attention after burning the hide. Maybe starving back home would have been better than being crushed between those four-jawed maws. But it was too late for regrets. He cranked the rifle to max power and fired, flooding his vision with white light for a few seconds. A heavy thud echoed, followed only by the electric hum of the weapon. Slowly, his sight adjusted. The beast lay dead before him. A fist-sized hole burned clean through it. Bruno rushed to the hilltop road, shouting, "Don't worry! I don't know what was it, but it's dead now." Relief flooded his voice. "We can go home now and..." Then three discoveries silenced him. The first was a crater at the hill's summit. The second, the meteorite from days ago, had actually been a ship. And the third, the people he just saved weren't human. They were aliens, their skin streaked with vivid green bands. Wow, I wonder how the rest of humanity in that dimension will react when they learn they're not alone in that universe. How would you react, dear listeners? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe to show your support. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. I'm Sidereo, telling you we'll see each other between dimensions.